All right, we're going to start today's video with a little recap from yesterday. So the first thing we did was we figured out how to write a ratio. There were 2 red paper clips for every 6. We want to focus on this way right here, the fraction, because what we're going to do is write the ratio in simplest form, and you need it as a fraction to do that. So in example 1, they showed you how to divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor to get a simplified fraction. So the numerator and denominator were divided by 2. We did this example together with the suns and the moons. That was the same type of thing as the paper clips. Then we started looking at these tables, and what we were doing was we figured out the total of all numbers on the table and compared one thing, fruit, to the total. So there were 3 fruits and 21 total gums. We divided by the greatest common factor to get our simplest form. When you write the ratios and explain what they mean, it's 1 out of every 7 students preferred fruit-flavored gum. All right, then we did an example with the yogurt cup, same thing, although we were looking at strawberry yogurt compared to the total number of yogurt sold. And we also did the one with cats compared to the total number of pets sold. The last thing we did was the drawing a picture. So this lady had 30 flowers. She was putting them into 2 groups with a ratio of 2 to 3. 30 divided by 5 different little sections was 6 in each section. So one section with the 2 groups had a total of 12 flowers, and the section with the 3 groups had a total of 18. Now, this was your homework last night. So these 2 problems were just like example 1. This problem was like example 2. This problem was like example 3. And this problem was like example 4. Here are the answers to our homework last night. And what I want you to do in a minute, you're going to pause it. You're going to look at how I got the answers and compare them to your answers on page 23, number 1 through 5. And when you're done comparing, you're going to start the video back up again. All right, go ahead and pause it and check your answers. All right, now that you're done checking your homework, we're going to do our reflection in our math journal. So go ahead and open up to Learning Objective A, B, and a new blank page for Learning Objective C. Now, in a minute here, you're going to pause this video and you are going to copy this down on your Learning Journal page, and then you're going to fill in all the blanks. So notice there's the Learning Journal, or the Learning Objective. Number 1, you've got a person with 2 hands. There are 3 ways to write a ratio, comparing the number of thumbs to the number of fingers, and you're going to write those 3 ways to write the ratio right there. For number 2, to write a ratio in simplest form, I need to, so go ahead and explain what you would do to get a ratio in simplest form. For number 3, you're going to show your work to get this ratio of thumbs to fingers in simplest form. And when you're finished, you're going to do number 7A on page 24. All right, so go ahead and pause this and do everything on this page of your learning journal. Okay, the next step is to go to this front page of your learning journal, and you need to fill out the middle column for Objective C. I can write a ratio in simplest form. Go ahead and fill that out with a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Then you can pause the video to do that and turn it back on for your next step. All right, once you did your learning objective check-in, it's time to take this practice quiz. Now, here's what you need. You can use your journal. You can use your notes in your journal on the quiz. If you're interested in a helpful multiplication table with a reference on the back, let the teacher know, because I put copies of these, and that's something you can keep in your math folder and use this more than just today. You are going to need this sheet right here. This is where you're going to show your work. So you're going to be doing the problems on the computer, but showing your work here. Now, you have to use the methods we learned in class. So for greatest common factor, you can choose which method to use. You don't have to use all of them. Same with least common multiple. Choose the method that you want to use. And then simplifying ratios, show your work for that. There weren't really different methods. If your computer isn't working or you don't have a computer today, ask the teacher for a paper copy of the quiz. Or if you don't like using the computer and you prefer a paper copy of the quiz, you can do it on here too. But hopefully all of you will be able to use the computer. So if you remember on here, to get into that app, you click on this. Now this student already has it right there, but if you don't have that McGraw-Hill app, you can type in McGraw and it'll show up. You know what we should do? We should double click, so you click 2 fingers at once. When you double click, this comes up and you can write pin to shelf, and that way it'll put it down there for you, okay? Now, when you go into the app, you might have to sign in again. This student doesn't have to sign in again because his was already saved in there. But if you need to sign in again, look in your magic binder for your sign in for the online math book. All right, so you go up to this little hamburger, the to-do list, and in the to-do list should be that quiz review, and that's when you can go ahead and click on it, and then you launch the assignment. Now, since this is just a review, it's going to let you see all your work and check your answers and see how you did, and go back and take it more than once. Whereas on the regular quiz, you only get to take it 1 time. So that's one little difference. As you're working on here, don't forget, you can use your help sheets and your learning journal, but you're doing your work on here. Half of the points of the test are for showing your work, and half of the points on the test are for getting the correct answers. All right, you can go ahead and pause this video, work in your Chromebook, and you can turn the video back on when you're done. When you are done with the online test, here's what you need to do. You can get out of McGraw-Hill and carefully close your Chromebook. This sheet needs to be turned in to your classroom's drawer. So remember over there, your turn-in drawer, whether you're in 2nd hour, 4th hour, or 5th hour, you need to turn this show your worksheet in. If for some reason you didn't take the test on the computer and you took it on this, you can staple these together to turn in. All right, so after that's turned in, we're now going to work on that homework, the study for quiz. So to study for the quiz, it says we need to do pages 13 and 25. So this is the extra practice. On page 13, please note that these are finding greatest common factors and these are least common multiples. Then on page 25, that's going to be the ratio practice. So this page 25 is practicing for the ratios. Now, this is the extra stuff that you can practice for homework. You don't have to do it all for homework. If you got all of those questions right when you took the test on the Chromebook, maybe you just kind of look over and do a few of these just to make sure that you're on the right track. But go ahead and work on pages 13 and 25 until the end of class today. All right, you can go ahead and stop this video. Good luck.